Yeehaw! Anyway, what is going on, you dirty old stains of stash? It's me again, and I'm going ice fishing because it's cold in Nebraska again, and I'm excited about it. Today, we're gonna be fishing a lake, but I really haven't ice fished much, which something I don't get to say very often, you know? I really kind of violate every damn hole I can find around here. Don't take that the wrong way, boo, if you're watching this, but this is a lake I haven't really been to very much, but last night I checked it out after I did some spillway fishing, and it's pretty safe. As you can see, tracks from other folks, and yeah, pretty limited. It goes from about 3 inches to past that white line, goes to about 1. So we're pretty much stuck in this little area, but we're gonna make the most of it. This is another short trip, which I'm excited about. The long trips can be pretty tiresome and pretty hard on your body and your mental state, and I've been doing a lot of them, and it's kind of been wearing me down. I know, I sound like a pussy, but we're gonna do a little shorty, a little 3-hour trip, see what we can get. Goals for the day. I'm gonna start this goals for the day shit at the beginning of every video. Goals for the day are to catch something, not fall in, and maybe catch something a little bit bigger after we catch something. So we're keeping it simple here. But anyway, I'm gonna unpack all my stuff. Might even get out my shack for like my first time ever by myself. Most of the time I don't get it out unless it's like 0. I'm too tough for that. But yeah, I kind of feel like just chilling in it today. If you guys wanna hang out with me in my shack, then stay tuned, I guess. Okay, bye. Come on, Big Timmy, you dirty old boy. Let's go catch some fish together. I haven't treated you very well though. You got a damn bucket full of trash in you. Whoops. You stay right there, Heater. All right, so for those of you that are new here, this red guy right here is my friend Big Timmy, and the only reason he's lucky enough to come fishing with me is because it's a short walk. Otherwise, I wouldn't even deal with his big dumb ass. Look at him. He doesn't look very smart, does he? It's because he's not. He hangs out with me too much. It almost looks like there's somebody fishing the main lake. I don't have the kahunas for that. Looks kind of sketchy. So we're gonna stick to the backwater stuff for another couple days. There's fish back here, just not necessarily as many, but we could be wrong. All right, so our main plan is to fish these 2 trees. Basically, we've got a creek channel going out. It stays about 8 or 9 foot in between those 2 trees and right next to them. So those are definitely the game plan, but I caught fish right here yesterday. So I'm gonna at least check this out real quick, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Did I lose my battery for my auger? Did that fall out too? No, there she is. She's not looking the best either. No wonder my batteries don't last very long. They're corroded to all holy hell. Need some new ones. That's not super thick at all, is it? Good enough, but could be better. Someone's fishing the main lake. They're freaking crazy. Main lake's probably about half of that, and that's only about 2.5. So today's game plan is definitely staying back here and not dying. Seems like a good plan. Starting with the buckshot spoon as normal. Everyone keeps commenting about how I use the same shit over and over again, and I can't deny that you are correct. But up until this year, I'd never caught a fish on one before. So it's kind of a new bait to me. Yeah, we're gonna turn her back to that wind. That seems like a good plan. First drop of the day. Doesn't really look like much is down there, but back in these little bays and stuff, they're just kind of cruising, coming up to eat whatever the hell fish eat through the ice. What do bluegills and crappies even eat through the ice? I guess it probably just kind of depends. We don't have any shrimp in Nebraska, so they're not eating little shrimp. Who the hell knows? That one said no thanks. No thank you, sir, is what he said. All right, that was too many no thankses in a row. Let's try the little tungsten booger, even though I hate them almost as much as I hate bluegills. Almost. Oh. We got a dirty tungsten eater that was tiny, tiny, but we got a bite. It wasn't a very big bite. Another fish though. Bigger. Not really. We're gonna have to do better than that, but we're on the board. Little tungsten, little waxworm, 8.5 feet. Shallow backwater. If you're new to ice fishing, I've been getting this comment a lot. People are like, does this thing call in the fish for you? The answer is no. I wish it did, but it does tell you if there's fish down there. Basically, my GoPro probably isn't picking any of this up, but you got the surface, you got the bottom, you got your lure. Anything in between that is either a tree or a fish. When you're scooting around on the ice trying to find fish, it's very helpful because you can basically only fish up and down. You can't make casts, you can't cover water. You're kind of stuck in the mud, or in this case, on the ice. That might be a crappie. Oh my gosh, it's huge. I'm just kidding. That's like the smallest crappie I've ever caught. But He's kind of cool. Kind of pretty when they're small like that. Well, if you came here for big fish, you might as well click off this video because we might luck into one or two. But for the most part, it's going to be a tiny panty fish sort of deal back here, I would imagine. But just feels good to be catching fish, really. That was another equally tiny crappie. Almost looks like I got robbed. I did. It's another good thing about a fish finder. Generally speaking, I can tell if I got robbed just by looking at my jig on the screen. Not all the time, but that time I could. I don't know if this is a good enough spot to park it and sit with the shack. I mean, there's a lot of fish. I've been here for like 3 seconds, plus about 5 minutes, but hasn't taken long. I'm just getting kind of cold though. So we're gonna have to figure something out sooner than later. All right, we're gonna go see what these trees are all about. Come on, Big Timmy, let's catch something big. All right, we're gonna sit here for a little bit, see if we can't get a bass out of this tree here, and then go from there. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a waiting game. So here's to waiting. Pow. All right, well, getting Big Timmy out has been fun and all, but I think it's time to do some exploring. Search around this brush pile a little bit more, go explore that one a little bit more, and there's another brush pile that way, and there's the spot I started at over there, so see if we can make something of our day. Probably make this video anyway, because a lot of you guys are commenting, saying that you don't have any safe ice at all, and I feel your pain, it sucks, so I guess I'll give you something to watch, whether I catch something big or not. Or something like that. All right, well, I'll save you from some of the dirty exploring stuff, and I'll let you know when I figure something out. If I figure something out. When I figure something out. You gotta stay positive. When I figure something out. I got fish down there, it's just what do they want? They went after the tungsten a little bit better than the jigging Rap. Not much better, but better. Little baby crappie. Hey, little bud, when were you born? 3 hours ago? Still something. It's been rough going, so I will take it. Even though it's pretty small. By pretty small, I mean very small. I'm not in the least bit proud of that catch. But there is a lot of them. That's a better bluegill. Might be onto something here. There's a few fishies down there. I sat in my damn shack too long. That's why I never set it up. If I sit in it, I don't catch shit. Now we're catching though. So that's good. Also probably need to just stick to the tungsten the rest of the day. It's the only thing getting ate. This one's got some different colors. Actually has some colors at all. All the rest of them are pretty pasty. You've been getting yourself some sun, huh, boy? But yeah, it just seems like these backwaters is just kind of smaller fish move up into it, and this time of year you just gotta kind of take what you can get. Even if they are tiny fish. At least they're crappies. I don't think I've ever caught crappies through the ice this small. But they're still cooler than bluegills, and I think I found something pretty decent right here. Not sure how long it'll last, but I just banged out about 10 fish pretty quick. Eh, they're getting a little bigger. Look at that. Freaking upgrade to a 7. I might actually end up making this into a video. Even though the fish are kind of pathetic, like I said, I mean, everyone's struggling with ice conditions right now, so. Hey, that one's actually one of the prettier crappies I've ever seen. It's a white crappie, the rest have been black. Hi, little bud. Got anything you want to say? Nothing? Their faces are so weird when you grab their mouth like that. It is something. Well, most time I like the big baits better, but the small ones are definitely outperforming the big ones. Obviously, that's mainly because the fish are tiny, but some days that's just kind of how shit goes, you know? That ain't terrible. That's a better crappie. There's some better ones that moved up in here, huh? I almost left. I was discouraged. I wasn't doing very good. All it took was a 50-yard move. Trees are right over there. Sorry, I got a fish down there, so I don't really want to completely turn, but it wasn't much of a move and completely changed the day. I was borderline giving up mentally. Drilled a few holes, found some. That's what you gotta do. If that's all fish, we're about to be pretty set. That ain't a bad one. Look at that, I could almost eat that one. The other ones have been pretty pathetic, but he ain't big, but for a cold day that I almost didn't come out, he ain't bad. 9 or something, getting bigger. I'm so glad I kept trying. Never give up and stuff, you know, Stash fam? Never give up. A lot of them down there. Another point for the small bait. Bluegills, using a little 5mm tungsten. I don't think the brand or anything really matters. I'm not really a huge color guy either, but it's definitely outperforming the big baits. And yeah, randomly, sporadically, this has turned into a big baits versus small baits challenge, I guess. So if you came here for that, because that's probably going to be the title, then here you go. That's me saying it. And I'm actually going to try the jig and wrap one more time on these fish, because it seems like there's some bigger ones. But basically, we tried rip and wraps. We tried Swedish nipples, which are Swedish pimples for those of you who don't know. Tried buckshot spoons. Tried every big bait I have any sort of confidence in, and they just weren't really working. See if we can get one out of this group though with it, or if it scares them off. So far they're not scared off, but they definitely aren't crushing it. They're kind of thinning out now. We should probably get this thing out of there. You tried jig and wrap. You tried. Oh God, that was tiny. Eek! Not sure if the small one moved in or if I just suck. The small one's moved in, and maybe I suck a tad. Look at that, he's almost like cute though. Don't die on me. You just started your young, beautiful life. It's crazy how stuff works though. I was sitting in my shack having some marks come up, and I was like, oh, it's just the weather, the bite's off. No matter what I do, I'm not gonna catch him today. And then we come over here and we're catching giants constantly. The constantly part is true. The giants is false. But a bad day fishing is still better than a good day on the couch. Or whatever the saying is. I am getting cold though. I don't really get cold on my couch very often. It is a definite night and day difference in the small bait versus the big bait today. But with that being said, I mean, every day is different. I do pretty well using big baits the majority of the time. I pretty much always am using big baits. And obviously big baits for ice fishing is a relative term, but bigger baits, I guess, is the best way to put it. Hammering big fish or small fish, it doesn't matter to me as long as I'm catching and I'm catching, and there's a billion more down there. Definitely a light bite though, but you can get them. If we catch one more bluegill out of this hole, we're gonna go look at my other holes and then we're gonna color a day. 8.3 feet though, not very deep, pretty shallow for ice fishing actually, but they're still coming in here. And I think on the bright side for my chances of catching big fish, I think this is going to be one of the last days that I have to fish backwater areas. Pretty soon I'm going to be able to fish the whole lake if I want to. What are you? Holy shit. That's a big one. Look at that f***ing thing. Oh, bud. Holy shit, that thing's got a big mouth. Look at that dude. That is great. I haven't squealed like that this ice fishing season, I don't think. I mean, he's not huge, but that's big, old, skinny dong crappie. That's gotta be like a 13. All right, well, there's a bunch more fish down there, so I don't want to talk about it too long, but look at that dude. Perseverance paid off. Pretty slow day, pretty tough day, but downsizing, I guess, even though I hate to do it, is the right answer sometimes. Dropped down to a tungsten, started catching. Took a little bit of moving, but pow. Pow, pow, pow. All right, bud. I mean, that's a 8-inch hole, probably about 12 or 13. He's really long. Kind of skinny, but I will take it. I knew that was something different right when I set the hook. Like I said at the beginning, I just wanted to catch one big fish, mainly talking about bass, catfish, and walleye, but that'll work. That mark just looked different too. He just like slowly swam up to it, so I thought it was gonna be a bass or something else. Most of the time crappies swim pretty fast on the fish finder when you're watching it, but that dude was old balls and he was slow. All right, we're gonna try to catch a couple more. If I catch another big fish, I'll show you that, but other than that, I think we proved our point. That was kind of an impromptu point. Sometimes downsizing is the way to go. Turn the day around for sure. Anyway, alrighty, well, I got snot on my face and smell like dirty old fish, but obviously you're gonna go out sometimes and you can pretty much drop anything in their face and they will eat it. I mean, I've caught 3-inch bluegills on the second smallest size jig and wrap.
I don't know what the sizes are on those damn things, but some days you can really just go out and do whatever you want. But today I really had to buckle down and use tiny stuff. So glad I made the switch. Glad I made the giant move from that tree over there to here, and I'm glad I ended up being able to catch some fish. So any day you go out, you just got to try to do your best for the place that you're at. And Nebraska, I know I say it all the time, kind of sucks, but I did the best I could. I got the one big crappie. I caught a lot of crappie. There's a few people out here, and there's people out here yesterday. Not a single one of them caught a crappie, so I guess that's something to be proud of, even though only one of them had any size to it. But anywho, if you like this video, if you have any other ideas for challenge videos, give this video a thumbs up and then leave a comment of your ideas down below. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I promise sometimes I catch bigger fish than that, most of the time actually. Expect a lot more stuff coming soon. Okay, I don't know what else to say besides